guys, I'm Alex, and I'm the girl behind a girl in her van, and this is my 2000 Eurovan Penny, and this is my puppy, who will probably be in and out of this video a little bit. I've been getting a lot of questions on my Instagram and on my website about my solar panel setup, how I have it attached, the kind of equipment I used, and my installation process. So I wanted to do a blog post detailing kind of my thought process behind things, what I have found works, and I hyperlinked all of the things that I used on the website. So go ahead and check that out at agirlandhervan.com. So this is my solar panel. It's a 120 watt semi-flexible solar panel. It weighs 4.6 pounds, it's about 1/4 inch thick, and it has a 30-degree arc in either direction. A lot of people mount their solar panels on the roof of their vans, but I have a pretty big Thule box and I didn't really want to take the box off and start messing with that. So I decided to leave my solar panel free in the sense that I could put it wherever the sun was. I wasn't restricted to parking and things like that, and I found it worked really, really well for me. So what I did here was I attached just an old climbing sling through the 2 holes on the top here, and I hang the panel off of the ladder in the back. Then I took 2 bungee cords and kind of strung them through the rungs of the ladder and attached them through these kind of little holes here on the corner and on the bottom. I just want to say that this is a pretty dirtbag way to do this. There are a lot of nicer ways, but this really works, and I haven't had any problems with durability, the thing moving too much, or anything like that. So it's been going pretty well. When I want to take the panel off, I just kind of unclip it here on the bottom. And then I have about 5 feet of cable out so that I can have access to the back hatch without having to take the panel off if I don't want to. So if I'm camped up for a night and the sun is kind of over here where you guys are, I just take it off and then I just lay it in the sun. I maybe prop it up against a log or I hang it in a tree. It really has a lot of options, and I've been on the road for about 5 months and I have only had to plug in 2 or 3 times. This panel is legit. I absolutely love it. I recommend it to everyone I meet. It's really durable. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of throw this thing around. I am not the most gentle with my gear, and it has still been functioning completely flawlessly, and I just love it for that. So here you can see how light it is. The flexibility, like I said, 30 degrees in either direction. When you first get the panel, it's going to look like this from the back. It has this little black kind of port thing here, and then a positive and a negative cable. I marked my positive cable with just a little piece of red tape because it's just easy to get this stuff mixed up. You only get about 2-3 feet of cable coming out from the panel, and so you have to get an extension cord. These extension cords come in any length. I have 15 feet, but I've seen them in 20, 30, 40. It just depends on where you want to move the panel and how much cable you kind of want floating around in your car. On the positive wire here, I have an MC4 fuse adapter. There's a little fuse in here, so if there's a surge from the panel for some reason, the fuse will break, and it just helps protect your charge controller and your batteries. And it's just a great another little step just to keep things working smoothly. When I say MC4 throughout this video, I'm referring to this kind of connection, and most all solar panels have this. And if you're looking for extension cord cables, look up MC4 extension cord. It's pretty simple. Or you can look on the blog post that I wrote. Put this over here. Alrighty, and you guys can see here these bungee cords and kind of how I just leave them hanging here. Like I said, not the best system, but it works. And if it works in van life, you don't mess with it. So I'm living right now in the van full time, so it's a little bit dirty in here. And I'm also taking this video on a dirt road, so I really hope somebody doesn't come in the middle of this. We'll just throw all this stuff out of here. Alrighty, so move this. Here is my extension cable. I just leave a coiled little piece of Velcro. I wrapped mine in electrical cord. There is absolutely no purpose for this. It doesn't like increase efficiency. I just got kind of tired of having 2 cables flying around, and sometimes in van life you get real bored. And so this was a good 20-minute project. So we put that down here. So right here I have my charge controller. I installed it right underneath the bed here. And you can see that I have the cable coming in here from the solar panel to these MC4 pigtails. And it's just a little piece of wire that goes in to the charge controller. And there's a little box that says solar, positive and negative. And you just simply stick the wires into that. It's pretty simple and self-explanatory. The charge controller is critical for any solar setup. It helps regulate the energy going into the battery. It helps show you what is going on with your battery setup. These lights will light up if something's going wrong with the panel or your battery level, the amps and the volts going into it. It's just really awesome because I'm constantly convinced that something's kind of going wrong. So it's really awesome and to see kind of what's happening. So here are my batteries. I just have a simple piece of plastic because I store tools and extension cords on here and just kind of keeps everything a little cleaner. So there's a lot of stuff going on down here, and I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed by this at the first glance here. But basically all you need for your solar panel here to work is to attach, I have a 4-gauge cable here, from battery A, the positive terminal, to the negative terminal of battery B. And that is it. You don't need all these other cables. In order to take 2 6-volt batteries and make 12 volts, this is how you do it, this cable. So then I take a small wire and I attach it to the positive terminal of battery B. And I string it through here, and then I drilled a small hole to go through to my charge controller, but you could just lay it on top. It's really simple. And then I take a small cable from battery B, and then I stick it in to the battery output slot in the charge controller. And that is it. It is these 2 small cables connecting the 2 batteries to make 12 volts. And that is how I get my power from my solar panel through my charge controller into my battery bank. And like I said, I've been on the road now for about 5 months in Alaska and British Columbia, and it has just been a phenomenal trip. But I have rarely had to plug in. This solar panel is fantastic. You're able to be off the grid for months on end, and I just really recommend it. Solar is so much easier than people think. I get questions all the time about how I mount things, how I attach things, and it's such a simple setup. So if you guys like this video, let me know. If you have any questions, email me, agirl@andhervan.com, and I'll see you guys on the road, and hopefully with a solar setup.